Alright, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is. It is 8:30 p.m. on the east, 5:30 p.m. on the west, and we have the one, the only, the self-proclaimed living legend. We got Soulrac live on the line. How you doing this evening?
Yo, I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to be able to hang out with you tonight and have an opportunity to talk with the audience and let them know what's going down with Soulrac.
Hey, man, you already know it's an honor to have you here, man. You know what I mean? We love your music down here in Canada, brother, so, you know, it's nothing but love for Soulrac tonight.
All right, well, that's where I want to be then. I want to be where the love is, you know what I mean?
But I gotta ask you, man, I want to take you back to the very beginning, man. Like, what actually inspired and sparked the legendary career of Soulrac?
Well, you know what sparked it was just hip-hop as an idea, hip-hop as music. I mean, when I was young, my first memory of hip-hop was when I was chilling in the room and my uncle was playing that song by Rappin' Duke, the Ha Da Ha. And then, you know, it just progressed from there. You went from Run DMC, and then it went on to, you know, Fat Boys and so many others until, you know, one of the greatest rappers ever, the God MC, Rod Kim, and Big Daddy Kane and so many others influenced me. And it was just something that was like a calling, a burden that I had to fulfill, and just came to fruition. And what you hear today is just a combination of all of those things that shaped me to be the artist I am today.
And also, man, as well, aside from your music here for a moment, I also saw that you were actually partially owned a nightclub called Thirst Ultra Lounge in Tampa, Florida. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners a bit more about that. And of course, COVID-19 permitting, what times do you guys open and where's your exact location? That way people in Tampa can go party with Soulrac.
Well, you know, I used to be an owner of that, so I'm no longer doing that. However, the club scene in Tampa is still live and vivid, and people can definitely go down there and be a part of that. But it was a great experience being a club owner because I was able to learn the other side of the business. You know, it's one thing to be a performer, but it's another to be the person that's behind the scenes, you know, almost like a puppet master in a sense. And I was fortunate enough to meet Slick Rick. You know, I was fortunate enough to meet Donnell Jones, and I also met Biz Markie. He was DJing at the time, but I was fortunate enough to meet him. So that experience was, you know, beyond words, and I'm grateful for that experience. But anybody still want to vibe in Tampa, you know, still go down there because a whole lot to do. If you want to vibe with Soulrac, just reach me on social media. We can make it happen.
And I gotta ask you as well, man, what was it like actually meeting Biz Markie, man? Because I had the opportunity to interview him, and he was such a phenomenal, humble individual.
Yeah, I think it was a great experience. I didn't get a chance to get like real deep with Biz Markie because he was DJing that day, so we didn't have a chance to have a long, drawn-out conversation. But just being in the presence of greatness is always a great opportunity, it's a great takeaway. But I did have an opportunity to speak with Slick Rick, and it was a great experience talking to him. He was just so down to earth. It was just like hanging out with one of your best friends. He's just one of those type of people, very approachable. You know, just so much to pick from his brain, from what he's done over the years, and such a legend. And you know, he's definitely he is who he is, and I'm just grateful for that opportunity to connect with him as well as Biz Markie and Chuck Rock as well. I didn't mention him earlier, but I had the chance to work with him also. So I was fortunate to come in contact with some legends.
And I gotta say as well, like, shouts out to Slick Rick as well, man. I heard not too long ago he actually had a heart transplant, man, and, you know, he's actually doing better. I guess he was, I saw a video of him, like, crip walking or something like that outside the hospital after he got out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we have to really give flowers to our legends because, you know, unfortunately, you know, we had the demise of DMX, which was one of the greatest, and we have to really appreciate the artists that we have today that really shape the culture. The ones who are from the past as well as the ones that's up and coming, because we don't know when they might be going. You know, we don't know. Luckily, DMX did another album before his untimely passing, but we have to really embrace these artists, and I'm glad that Slick Rick was able to recoup from his heart transplant. He's doing better, but we definitely got to give flowers to the ones who paved the way for us.
And also as well, man, aside from you actually being a former partial club owner, you were also a former comedy promoter that worked in the Central Florida area. And I was wondering if you can tell our listeners a bit more about that. And of course, who are some of the comedians that you actually helped promote?
Well, you know, I was fortunate enough to work with quite a bit. One of them was a comedian by the name of Tyler Perry. He's on BET Comedy View. I had an opportunity to come in contact with Arnez J, Ricky Smiley, There was quite a few of them that I worked with, and a lot of stories that I can tell. One of them, Joe Clare. I don't know if too many people can remember him, but he was the person that used to host. I believe it was Rap City, if my memory is correct. And he was just, man, he was just good people all around, man. I had a chance to hang out with him, and he came down to perform. And he's not only was he a good host for hip hop back in the days, but he also was a funny comedian, and he was just good people all around. So I was able to work with him, deal with him. Came, like I said before, Ricky Smiley, sorry about that, and many others. And it was just a wonderful experience. I learned a lot in the comedy game that I took into the music game, because it taught me one lesson. I'm going to drop a gem for the audience right now, is that one thing I learned is that no matter how the show turned out, make sure you always take care of the comedian, because you might need him in the future. So whomever you do business with, always do good business, because you never know how that might turn around whenever your situation turns around. So always do good business at every given opportunity.
And also as well, I gotta ask, are you still doing the comedy promotion, or is that just something that you did in the past and you kind of moved on from now?
I'll put it like this. I'm no longer doing it now, but it's still in my blood. So at any given time, I can do a show, because I still got the connections. All I have to do is just call my people, and we can make it happen. But it's in my blood, so who knows when it might come up. But right now, I've been focusing more so on the music, because that's what I'm working in right now, the space that I'm working in. But at any given time, opportunity comes available. Definitely bring that comedy side out, without a doubt.
And also as well, you have actually done some great work with Craig G of the Juice Crew. I was wondering, man, how did yourself and Craig G get connected? And of course, what was it like actually being in the studio and working with such an East Coast legend like himself?
Well, the beautiful thing about it, through technology, I didn't have to physically be there with him to do the track, but we were able to correspond and do that gem that your listeners may have heard, which is Belly the Beast. And it came to fruition by my producer by the name of Big Bob, who created the opportunity for us. And he created the opportunity for me to work with Craig G, as well as BBS Verbal, which is also a giant in his own right. He's currently working with Dut Down Records, which is the label that's connected to Smith & Wesson. So we was able to create that gem and make it possible through the connection of the internet, through technology. We was able to make it happen, even though it wasn't able to be there physically, even though it sounds like we were, because the chemistry is so great. But at the end of the day, we created that gem, and I'm fortunate that I was able to be on that track.
And when you brought up Big Bob, I could be mistaken, but you're talking about Big Bob from Toronto, Ontario, correct? Like Big Bob Pattison?
Absolutely.
I gotta say, he's a phenomenal individual.
Oh, yeah, man. He's multi-talented, good people, man, and definitely a visionary for hip-hop. And one thing I like about him, he got a very flexible personality, and he has a good spirit, man, and that's very important when you're doing the EP. You got to have that chemistry when you're working with people. He definitely exhibited that during the whole time we worked together.
And I gotta ask, man, like, what is it like just working with a Canadian producer like him? Did you find he's different than other producers you've met? Because I do know, like, some individuals, if they live in a different country, they're a little bit different on their production side of things.
Well, to be quite honest with you, I think if you love hip-hop, that will supersede geographical location. I haven't really noticed anything distinctively as far as working with him, as far as working with anyone else, as far as personality is. I think more importantly, we all have a love for hip-hop, and that's what drives our motives. That's what drives us as far as creativity is concerned. But one thing I will say about Big Bob is that he has his own flavor, he has his own vibe, and he's not the only Canadian producer that I will be working with. I'm working with DJ Merciless as well, who's also from Canada. So I've been fortunate enough to work with Canadian producers, and also working with a producer that's in Morocco as well. So I'm definitely fortunate to have these relationships and be able to have these different assortment of talents to create the sound that I'm looking to bring to the audience.
And also as well, man, you are actually currently working on an album titled Soul Pollution, man. I was wondering if you could tell our listeners a bit more about that particular record, and what can they expect from that when it does drop?
Well, I think the thing people can expect from Soul Ploitation is just as it states, Soul Ploitation, soul coming from the first four letters of my rap name, Soul, and then Ploitation, which is a play on the word black ploitation, and ploitation means exposure, meaning to exploit or to expose. And so basically I'm exposing my soul to the audience by talking about things that touch my heart and played in the United States and abroad. And then we have Broken Pieces, which deal with child molestation and domestic violence. And his story, which is a song that I made to my son, pretty much teaching him life lessons, telling him, hey, I made the mistakes for you. You don't have to go through them. You can learn from me by just listening to my story. And that's basically for the song. There's two more. But it's just an assortment of music that's really, basically what I did, I just threw a net out there and just giving people a chance to try different things that are coming from my heart and mind, and give people a chance to be exposed to my soul and the things I think about from the day to day.
And I gotta ask you as well, man. Like, is that record gonna have any hard copies or vinyls? Because I do know that our audience here at 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM loves their hard copies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm definitely looking to get some vinyl out. That's definitely a part of the plan. Now, as far as the time, I'm not gonna lie to you on the radio, but we definitely gonna get it done. It's just a matter of when. But yeah, we definitely gonna have some vinyls. I want to have some CDs. Even considering cassette tapes for those who still rocking them boom boxes, you know what I'm saying? Because we got to take them back to the day. So all of that's in consideration. Once I do get it ready to roll, you'll definitely be the first one to know, because we want to make sure your audience are able to get the first copies that come out.
And also as well, man, I noticed that you actually started your own independent record label called Enlighten Music Group. I was wondering, what made you decide to start your own record company? And of course, who is currently signed to the legendary Soulrac today?
Well, right now you're talking to I'm the only artist, because I feel like I need to create the template for the other artists that will follow suit. But as far as the label itself, the reason for the purpose of the label was just so we could have autonomy, have creative freedom, because when you sign with a major label, they can influence your ability to be creative. And I didn't want that stickler on me. I wanted to be in a position where I can be able to make music that's for the people, rather than just trying to make what's making the top 10 a Billboard. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not afraid to get money. I'm all about making money, but I also believe in being real to yourself, and that's what drives me as an artist. But the more important thing is that Enlightened Music Group is really about enlightening people and opening up their mind. And even though I come across as a conscious artist, which I consider myself diverse in many ways, it's all about challenging the status quo and taking people to the next level. And the only way you can, and one of the ways you can do that is through music.
I gotta say, I most definitely agree on that, man. That's some real talk right there, most definitely.
Absolutely. And not only that, the money part as well. Why give somebody a percentage of your money when you can get all of it? You know, that's always a good business decision.
And also as well, man, as you already know, we got connected through MJ's Hip Hop Connects. I was wondering, how did yourself and MJ get connected? Because I gotta say, she is such a phenomenal individual.
Oh, yeah, she's definitely great, and she's definitely, a well-rounded person and very resourceful. Actually, I got to meet her through Big Bob because he made the connection, and she and I linked up, and she and I made that connection where we was able to get things moving, and thanks to her, I'm talking to you right now. So, I give much props to her for what she does and what she's able to do.
I gotta say as well, she's also one of the radio station's sponsors, and I'm not just saying this because she sponsors what I do. I gotta say, she probably is one of the most nicest publicists you can ever deal with, man. I ran into some great ones, but no one compares to MJ. Very down to earth, like just work, man. I don't think she ever sleeps.
Yeah, she got good work ethic. I thought I don't sleep that much, but I think she's worse than me, so that's really bad. But that tells you that she's working hard for us and definitely putting us in a position where we succeed. And that's all you can ask for somebody who works for you or do things for you. You want them to position you for success. And, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's all about creating opportunities for people. And when you get the opportunity, you go back and pull somebody else up who needs one as well. That's the way I think.
And also as well, man, March 19th of 2021, you actually dropped Caught You Slippin'. I gotta ask you, what is the story and inspiration behind that phenomenal single? And of course, where can we actually stream or purchase ourselves a copy of that particular single today?
Absolutely. You can definitely go to all of the streaming platforms. Just look for me, Soulrac Music. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes. You can even go on TikTok and you can make a dance video off the track. So it's available wherever music is sold. But as far as the inspiration of the song, what inspired me was that I wanted to kind of make a message to inspire women to be women and men to be their ideal self, because so many people are misguided by things that they learned through life and what they felt was the right way to do things, and just trying to point people in the right direction. And I was blessed to have my man, A-Man Baba, to get on the track, who laced it with the second verse. And then, of course, Big Bob produced this track. And then we also was fortunate enough to have Don the Cut, who does the scratches on the song. So we was able to create that gem because we created that chemistry, but more importantly, we wanted to inspire but also motivate people to move into their ideal self. And that's the whole purpose of Culture Slipping. Because if you don't live up to what you can be, you're not being the person that you were meant to be. And so that's what the whole message is about.
And also as well, man, I gotta say, as we already know, that's spinning in the radio station's rotation right now. So directly after this interview, man, I'm actually going to be spinning that for our live audience. So everybody that is listening, if you like what you hear, make sure you head on over to Spotify and add that to your favorite playlist.
Oh, yeah, definitely do that. I encourage everybody to buy that as well as the other songs that are there as well. But thank you for spinning it for me and definitely introducing it to the audience.
And I gotta ask you there, Soulrac, what is next for you, man? Is there anything I happen to miss during this interview? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote? What we still have you here live on the Canadian airwaves?
Well, I mean, one of the things I want to promote is that we're definitely going to be moving forward with the next EP, which is a work in progress right now. I got another EP that I'm working on with my man Blackson over there in Morocco, and then I got some side projects with some groups that I'm in that are working. And ultimately, what I want to do as well, I'm looking to travel abroad and do this, and move forward in the idea which is called preserving the culture, and basically is about restoring or highlighting the four elements of hip hop, and we're looking to bring that to a venue near you, and we're hoping to have we're looking to have artists that are from around the world to be a part of it, and we're looking to grow that, and hopefully we'll be in Canada, we can do it there, UK, and many other places that we're looking to tap into in the near future. So just want to put that seed out there, because once you put it out there, it can grow, and so that's what it's all about.
But I gotta ask you, Soulrac, this is the time in the interview, man, that I give a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves. Just a chance to give shoutouts to whomever they want to give shoutouts to. But most of all, man, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated everything Soulrac if they're not already doing so.
Yeah, they can follow me on @Soulrac Music. That's on any area of social media. They just put @Soulrac Music. Also, they can go to my website, which is www.soulrac.com. That's www.soulrac.com. Go ahead and sign up. That way you can be able to be informed about upcoming music as well as information that's surrounding the Soulrac movement. I want to give a shout out to MJ again, a shout out to you for giving me this opportunity. One of my dearest friends, D, he's listening in now. Shout out to him, my man Magic Mike, Big Bob, Instant Fix over there in France. And, everybody that's connected to the movement. I appreciate everybody for participating, whether you're on the scenes or behind the scenes. Everybody's commitment is honored and respected. And I appreciate you again for bringing me this opportunity to be on the show tonight with your studio audience, with your audience.
Hey, man, you are most certainly welcome, man. It was an honor and most definitely a privilege to welcome you on the radio station, man. I hope down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon.
Absolutely. I look forward to it. And, you keep doing what you're doing and keep preserving the culture. Greatly appreciate that.
Hey, man, you most definitely already know, man. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I ain't going to stop until the wheels fall off. And when the wheels do fall off, I'm going to get my white ass out of the bus and put them back on and keep on trucking.
Well, that's what I want to hear. That's what we need. We need to keep moving till the wheels fall off and keep putting it back on. That's what we need today. You know what I'm saying? More people like that.
Hey, man, you already know. I ain't gonna stop, bro. But I gotta say, for now, Soulrac, I appreciate you, man. You need anything, don't hesitate to reach out and slide into my DM. I got you.
I appreciate it. And likewise, all right?
Most definitely, brother. Have yourself a wonderful night.
You too. Thank